Happy Wednesday! I have a really cool book for you today, and it is called Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. Now, this story is fiction, but it's realistic fiction. And what's really cool is the author, her name is Mina Harris. The two girls in this story is a story that she's kind of retelling, a story that she had heard about her mom and her sister when they were younger. And she's kind of changed a few things around in the story, which makes it fiction instead of nonfiction. So some of the people are a little bit different. Some of the ways things happen are a little bit different. So it's not exactly the same. So it can't be nonfiction, right? Because nonfiction is about specific dates and specific times, and they give us facts, right? So this is based off of something that really happened, but because it's a little bit different, it's realistic fiction. So, Kamala and Maya's big idea. They have a big idea about something. They want to change something. And when we're done hearing this story, I'm going to ask you if there's something that you've ever noticed that you want to change. You know what should be out there? Kamala asked her sister Maya. Us? Said Maya. A slide, said Kamala. And a swing, Maya added. A playground, they shouted together. Kamala and Maya had an idea. It was a very good idea and a very big idea. They were going to need help. So they're going to need help. Later in religion today, we're going to talk about how we as Christians need to help people, right? These girls need help. Wouldn't it be great if there was a playground in the courtyard? Maya said. That does sound nice, Mommy agreed. How can we make that happen? Kamala asked. Well, I suppose the first step would be to ask the landlord, the person who owns the building. So right there we get a little bit of information. Right now we just see the inside of the girl's house, and they're looking out at a green grass. And the mom says, we should ask the landlord, the person who owns the building. So they don't live in a house, right? They live, it sounds like, in an apartment, right? And the girls want to put a playground in a shared space. So the mom says, well, we have to ask the landlord, the person who owns the building. So when you find that there's a problem, there's some steps that you need to do to go fix it, right? You have to talk to other people. So Kamala wrote a letter and Maya drew a picture. And they went to see the landlord to discuss their idea. The landlord thought about it for less than a second. I don't think so. No. That was not the answer they wanted. But they weren't ready to give up. That night, the sisters tried to think of ways to turn a no into a yes. Well, they just went up to him and they said, can you turn it into a playground? And he said, well, I don't have any ideas. It sounds like you just want me to do something that I don't have the money to do, right? So I don't know if he was being mean or if he just didn't know how to go about doing it. So the girls are thinking up a way to change that no into a yes. They're coming up with a plan. They asked other kids that lived in the building. Oh, there we go. More context clues to help us know that they live in an apartment building. If they wanted a playground in the courtyard. Ooh, two compound words. Playground, courtyard. Did they? Of course they did. And they had ideas too. Let's have a teeter-totter and a basketball hoop and flowers. So, Kamala wrote a longer letter and they went to see the landlord together. Dear landlord, right now the courtyard of our building is empty and no one uses it. If there were swings, kids could fly high. If there was a sandbox, kids could build. If there was a slide, kids could go so far, so fast. Can you build it, please? What do you think? Any predictions? Is the landlord going to change his mind? Let's find out. The landlord thought about it for less than 5 seconds. A project this big is expensive. We don't have the money for that. Do your parents know you're here? So again, he probably likes the idea, but he doesn't have enough money, right? Expensive. A project this big is expensive. Expensive means when something costs a lot of money, right? This was not the answer they wanted, but Kamala was not ready to give up. If we ask our parents and do it all ourselves, can we fix up the courtyard? The landlord thought about that for a whole 10 seconds. Finally, he shrugged. If you can do it yourselves, sure. So he kept saying no because he knew he didn't have the money to do it. But the girls are very persistent, right? When you really want something and you're dedicated to finding a way to do it, they said, well, as long as it's okay with you, we'll figure out a way to do it. Do you think they're going to need help? Yeah, they're going to have to ask around for help. Any predictions on who they might ask or what they might ask for? Well, we know they said they wanted a slide. They wanted a swing so they could fly high. A sandbox so they could build, right? Would you have to build those things? I don't know. Let's make some predictions. Think about what you think might happen. This wasn't exactly the answer they wanted, but it was a start. The kids all spoke to their parents about their ideas for the courtyard. They hung up posters and knocked on neighbors' doors. But they got the same answers from everyone. I'm sorry. Wow, that is a big job. I wish I could help. Which they knew meant no, no, no. But as they're going around, they're just saying, help us with our courtyard. Help us turn it into a playground. And I think everyone's going to hear that the same way that the landlord did, right? Like, that sounds like a lot of money. But we could always start small, right? One small person, any person. A person's a person no matter how small, right? Horton, here's a who says that. And you can make a difference, but you got to take baby steps, right? But then Mr. Green stopped to talk. I work construction, and I could maybe get some scrap lumber and some sand for a sandbox. Really? Kamala said. Yes, exclaimed Maya. Okay, I'll try. It wasn't a yes, but right now maybe was the sweetest word they had ever heard. Maybe gave them hope. So these girls, they're working together, right? Remember last week, and the adults are helping. Mr. Green is helping now too. Remember when we read the stories last week about how we can accomplish so many great things when we work together. The next weekend, maybe turned into a yes. The kids all helped measure. Mr. Green cut the boards. They sanded and hammered and sanded some more. And then came the actual sand. When you sand a piece of lumber, you're making it smooth, right? So that's why they're saying, so the same word, multiple meaning word, you're sanding it, right? Has anyone ever seen sandpaper before? So look, Mr. Green helped them build their sandbox. That project is happening. They were all thanking Mr. Green when Miss Lopez stopped to talk. I work in a garage. Maybe they have an extra tire for a teeter-totter. Another maybe. In the weeks that followed, lots of I don't knows turned into maybes. And then yeses. There's the tire that Miss Lopez brought to make a teeter-totter, right? Teeter-totter is another word for a seesaw, right? And look, people are bringing vegetables and things to plant so they can have a garden. No one could do everything, but everyone could do something. Kamala and Maya wanted everyone to celebrate the new playground, so they made another big poster inviting their neighbors to a potluck party. A potluck party is a type of party where everyone brings a type of food so that everyone can enjoy. There were hot dogs and hummus, spicy chicken and potato salad, strawberries and brownies and lemonade. Mrs. Flores set up a sprinkler for the kids to run through. Mr. Green brought the music. Oh, it sounds like they're having a wonderful time in their new courtyard. That's a playground. Kamala admired the new playground, but she noticed there was still one thing missing. Was there anything they said in the beginning of the story that they really wanted in their playground? Think back. Do you remember what she said on the first page? You know what should be out there? A slide. Could that be what she's thinking of? Let's find out. No one knew how to make a slide, but Miss Flores knew where they might buy one. I teach at Emerson Elementary, and they are redoing their playground. Maybe we could buy the old slide. This was a different kind of maybe. How can we afford that maybe? But now everyone was trying to find a way to turn that maybe into a yes. These brownies are delicious. Maybe we could have a bake sale. We can all bring toys and books and have a sidewalk sale. So this time they're getting something for their playground area in a whole different way by raising money, right? So that they can be, so they're being producers, they're providing a service, a bake sale, and they're selling some goods, right? And they're hoping that enough consumers pay them money so that they can buy the slide. No one could do everything, but everyone could contribute something. Isn't it amazing what can happen when you work together? When the slide arrived at last, Maya and Kamala got the first ride. The landlord was impressed. I want to shake your hands, girls, he said. You did a good job. You all did a good job. Kamala and Maya had an idea. It was a very good idea and a very big idea. And with a lot of help, they made it happen. Hooray for Kamala and Maya! Hooray for the Persisters! Persisters, see what they did? They made the word persist, right? To never give up. Because they are sisters. Persisters! What's next, Kamala? Kamala, looking up, said, I'm wondering what the view is like from the roof. Oh, sounds like she's getting another big idea. The end. Now, remember when we first started reading this, I told you this story was realistic fiction and that the author, Mina Harris, told the story of her mom and her aunt. This is the picture of those two women. Their real names were Maya and Kamala. And that's them as they grew up. And this is them as adults now. And here is the author. So it's really amazing, right? Sometimes we as authors like to write completely fantasy stories. And sometimes we like to write about facts, about animals and things that we've learned. And sometimes we like to mix a little bit of both, right? Take a thing that really happened and change it a little bit, right? So Kamala and Maya both had a really great big idea about how to make something better. They took a problem and they thought about how it could be made better. So I want you guys to think of a problem, and it could be anywhere, and think about and draw me a picture about one way you can maybe change it. Okay? All right, guys, you'll find that on Seesaw, and I hope you enjoyed this story so much. All right, bye.